This machine is a limited edition, one of one, Derette XC1100 Our Life in Trees Special Edition. You may be thinking to yourself, this is possibly one of the best Chinese mini skid steers that's ever been produced. But you don't know everything about this machine. You might think you do, but I'm gonna teach you some things today that you probably didn't know. And today, I'm gonna go over this machine with you and let you know my thoughts about it after I've run it for 20 some hours and I've used all kinds of attachments. I've dug with the bucket. I've used the power breaker. I've moved material and loaded dump trailer. I've used the Derette mulcher. I've used the DiggerSource drum mulcher. I've used the Rut Manufacturing disc mulcher. And so I actually have some hours on this machine, and I know a lot more about it now than I did the first time I showed you this. Now this is the first XC1100 that was produced. I have a video coming out soon where I show the entire process of this as a bare frame right as it got painted, the day the engine was put in, the day they started testing it, the day they did the gauges, and I'm gonna put that all together for you so you can see the ins and outs of this machine being made. But that's not what this video is. This video, well, let me just show you. So this machine looks nice and pretty now. That's because I spent a long time scrubbing it and power washing it and trying to make it look presentable again, because I sunk it in a muddy ditch in about a foot of mud. Yeah. Had to get it pulled out twice, once in a creek and once in a ditch, and it was caked with mud. Plus, I ran 2 mulchers on it in the same week, and it was covered in debris. And I accidentally might have ran a mulcher in the mud and flicked mud. Yeah, anyway, let's get back into the machine. So I've got the bucket at my property right now, not here at the house. So I put this cool angle blade on it. Cool little dozer blade I'm gonna take out, and I'm gonna work with this and see how it does, because that looks like an awesome attachment. So let's start at the front. The arms on this look really solid and they look really beefy. If while you're transporting things you need a place to put things like a tripod, they fit right down in the arms. This coupler is really cool. It's got the pressure release on it. My particular coupler is one of the early ones, and I had some issues with some O-rings, so I had to spend 39 cents on an O-ring and put a new O-ring on it, and that fixed the issue. So it is very handy. Now, something I did note, if you have a cover like this, when you go to put your attachment on, when it clips on, this little tab gets in your way. I learned that the hard way, and it doesn't want to stay attached. So either cut that off or do what I do and just pull it off when you're running an attachment. So that's something I learned. I also learned these holes here at the top, these are to bolt on the backhoe attachment, which I have and I'm going to test out soon. These pins are really handy to be able to turn, like they're just so super easy. They also have a grease point here at the bottom, which is really nice, but I've learned if you turn them too far, when you try to hook your attachment up, the angle of these, they get in the way. So you want to make sure that you leave these pins straight across. Don't have them too far. You're gonna have a tough time getting your attachment set in. Look how easy that is. So this machine, it's okay to pet the grass, it looks like. That looks like that's an okay thing to do. And you do want to wear gloves when you're attaching your couplers. Moving on back. Please don't let people stand in your bucket while you're operating it. That is bad. See, it's crossed out. Bad. Petting grass. Good. So I do like, for me, because I have got my decals on here, I do like this long, flat arm, which these are reinforced and they are really beefy. You can see all the welds here, and the welds look really nice. But I do like being able to put decals down the side of the machine, because not all of them you can do that. I've learned your air intake will get full of debris if you're in a really dusty area. So I need to take this apart and clean that out, which I have not done since last week. Also, my particular machine doesn't have a tie down point. I hear the newer ones, they started making already, you can get them with a tie down point. So I'm hooking my strap right in between here and here, and it's scratching it up, and that stinks. Some of these have issues with these fuel caps leaking. This is the early one, so this is a leaking fuel cap one. So if I fill the machine all the way, fuel can leak. Now Dean's already sent me the replacement. I haven't put them on yet, so I'll be doing that soon. This is really handy if you want your owner's manual with you, which I don't have. And see how it's dry in there? I just washed this thing off. So this thing is weather tight. I power washed the living daylights out of this machine. It's got these counterweights here on the back side, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, you can see your fuel level gauge. That's your sending unit. Now, a lot of debris comes up in here and does get stuck. So debris from the mulcher comes in here, and see, it goes right onto the tank. So I just clean out in between there and I knock it back to the track. So tracks, like any machine, they do get dirty. I tried my best to clean these, but this was completely filled and caked with mud. In my extreme power washing, I did get some paint off this, but I don't care at all. It has this cover down in here. I believe this is for your tensioner. I've not done anything with the tracks yet. This is as the machine came, just dirty. This tie down point on the front is really nice. I love having the ability to, when you're on your trailer, you just hook a strap right there, and it's so nice. That makes life really easy. This light is great, except there's something in the way of the light shining in front of you. So if you lift the arms up, this will be out of the way. Or if you put it all the way down, it's not bad. But if you have them up just a little bit, that completely blocks your line of sight. Again, here, you can't pet the grass up here, but you can pet it down here, just to let you know. I really like these hinges. These look really solid. I'm pretty happy with the look of those. Grease points are really easy to get to on this machine. This operator station, I like this. It doesn't have a lot of spring to it, but I'm not a huge fan of big springy trampoline steps. I'm sure they're nice for shock absorption, but that's not something that I ever notice when I'm operating it. See here, DRT 1100, which is XC1100. Kubota D1105, max lifting weight 1,200 pounds, which I've lifted over 2,000. Operating rate 3718 pounds. I really like that this is in Freedom units. This was made December of 2025. And then back here on the back, you can't just pull on these latches. You push over and pull up. See that? Push over, pull up. And then you can get to the back area. I have not had to do anything in here, but if I ever did, it looks like it's pretty easy to do. Now that air filter is back behind this piece of metal. It blocks the airflow, and that goes to the engine under the hood. So I am going to need to get that cleaned out. I haven't taken this back cover off yet, but it doesn't look super exciting down in there. So unless I have something to really work on, I'm not gonna do it. You can see the hole there for the lines to go through. You can kind of see that up in here. But this, it doesn't stay up by itself, so you might want to bungee it or put a little rod in there. But that is nice if you ever have to get to something within the back area. This is nicely vented. I do like that. On the other side, it's all pretty much the same, besides you have a fire extinguisher. Now, remember, I am just a student driver, so please be patient with me. Actually, when I trailer this, I've been sticking it on the back to make people wonder. So this side's all pretty much the same. Nothing new and interesting over here whatsoever. These hood latches, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of them, because you can get the first off easily. The second one, you have to press down on the hood, and then you can open it. So here you've got your pump stack. I power washed the living daylights out of this thing the other day, and it's really hard to get the debris out of the very bottom. You spray that and it sprays back up. The water itself does come out in the front here through these cracks, and that's good, but the debris does not. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get some of that out, because that's gonna keep building up over time. You can see that Kubota D1100 hanging out back there. Looks like it's easy to access. And your batteries right here in the back. These hood struts are super powerful. I mean, it just goes. So something I've learned I don't like about this machine, see how close this is to the hoses? That's no big deal, right? See, I have the arms just barely off the ground. And now the hood can't open or close. Move it back down a little bit. And now it clears. That doesn't seem like a very big issue, and it's not most of the time. But I do have some attachments I've put in here, like I had a big mulcher on here, and I couldn't open the hood because the mulcher didn't let the arm sit all the way down, because the mulcher's so big, it could not physically go down. So the only way to open the hood with that huge mulcher attached, I would have to lift the arms all the way up and have that 800-pound mulcher hanging out up here above my head. And I'm not a big fan of that. I forgot to show you this. See these side covers? They just slide right on here. I learned it's easier to start in the front and then pop them in. There's 2 bolts, and you can access the whole engine compartment. Literally, by taking out 2 13mm bolts. So I'm gonna pop these back in. It's literally that easy. And it's back on. That is brilliant. So there are these little hook tabs, and they go on here and hook onto these. Now this has an exhaust in the way, so you have to bring it in here, line up your exhaust, weasel it around to the right angle, get it on. There you go. It's really not that horrible. And then put 2 bolts back in, and you're back to work again. And look how simple this is. The arm lock no unscrewing, and you're ready to go back to work. Crazy. Crazy simple. These minor things I can find on any machine. I love the way that the hood works. I'm not a fan of the latches. I haven't had a problem working around the hose thing. I just want to make you guys aware of that. Now underneath the hood here, we have one of my limited edition special one-of-one features that nobody else has. This is the only XC1100 with this. You ready? Dean and his entire team autographed and signed underneath the hood. How many people have Dean's son's autograph and his whole team? Ann, Pi, Felix, Alex, Max, Dory, Sam, you know, all these people. If you've dealt with Derette, you have talked to one of these people, and each one of them signed this machine.
Our sales department is making an assignment. Okay, thank you.
I don't think I mentioned, but the height of the fuel fillers is amazing. It's so easy to fill the fuel on this compared to some of the other machines that are up high, or even the V1000 under the hood. I really do like it just being out here on the back and ready to go. So in this operator station, you do have some stickers you need to watch out for. Read a book, stop, take your key, walk away with dirt in the bucket. Barber shop pole with a tuning fork. You definitely want to put those together. Bring tuning forks to barber shops maybe. Don't get crushed by blocks. Don't put your hands in big huge belts. Never put your glove inside tornadoes, and stop tornadoes from happening. This is Oklahoma, they are bad. Don't cut your fingers off with a fan blade. Again, don't get crushed. This guy got crushed, this guy's about to get crushed, and then this guy. Social distance from blocks, man, come on. Again, this is our Life in Trees limited edition machine. We do have a nice phone mount right here, which works really well. So to use this, take your phone, you slide it in, and you press it down, and it clamps on. So I have found a purpose for this. Sometimes I'm waiting for a call or a text or something, and so while I'm operating, I can just occasionally glance down and see. It also gives me a clock. So I do like the phone mount. I thought it was silly at first, but I actually use it. You do have this dead man switch, which I've never used. The throttle works really well. I really like how smooth. It's really stiff, but not too stiff that you have to bump it with like some of the other machines. What's weird is you'd think to throttle up you go forward, but nope. This one pull backwards to throttle up, push forward to throttle down. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but not a big deal. The auxiliary is super lightweight and easy to use. Like I could do it with my pinky. It's not a big deal. So I do like that, and it locks firmly into place. These sticks, I don't know, I might like the V1000 joystick better, but when I'm operating, I don't care. These work great. I might want to add some upgrades later, but I have not. I haven't used these yet either. I will use this 12 volt with a stump grinder. I don't think I'll ever charge my phone on this. I usually have my power station with me, and it has a 140 watt charge port instead of these cute little normal ones. Headlight switch easy, horn upside down symbol like all Chinese machines, and then here's where we get into it. So we wait 10 seconds for the screen to boot up. When the screen boots up, once it hits that, now you can turn your key. Now wait a couple seconds for that. There's the click, now the arms work. But it's so smooth. It's one of the reasons this is my favorite machine. Just this operator station, it's just comfy, it's nice. There's lots of room. The controls are nice. I've heard people complain. Turn this off. I've heard people complain this gets in the way of the arm. I've never noticed it. It doesn't bother me even a little bit. I guess my arm does rest against, yeah, it rests against it. That's kind of nice. I don't know. So this is your parking brake. I've never used my parking brake. Yeah, I've never used it before. And it's stiff. That was my first time, I think. Maybe I did it in a video once before. So I'm a big fan of this. And when you're climbing up these weird little handles, it actually works. Just grab hold, pull up. I actually, I use these more than I'd like to admit to. I guess that's an old age thing. But yeah, now this doesn't have the highest lift capacity of any machine I've operated. It's not the fastest of any machine I've ever operated. It's not the smoothest of any machine, but it is close to the top of each category. This machine, I don't know which it's the best in, but it's ranked so high in every area. Currently, this is my go-to machine. This is the one that I use all the time. You may have noticed that in my videos, and you'll see it in a bunch of videos coming up. If I have my personal choice of what machine I'm going to use that day, it's almost always this. Now, if I want something small, I'm going to grab my little DRT 450 or my 480. Want to put it on my baby trailer? I'm going to grab one of those. But if I need a serious monster to do some serious man's work, this is my go-to. It just is what it is. I don't know if you can totally see this screen out here in the sun. I'm trying to shield the screen so you can actually see it. You see the fuel gauge over here? I'm at 48% fuel rate now. You can see your tachometer in the middle, which is really handy, and right here at the bottom it shows your hours. I have 20.9. Over here on the right hand side, this is a temp gauge, which I'm not running it right now, so we're not worried about that. But let me show you the RPMs. So see the little red thing there? That shows your RPMs. But I really like how you can see exactly where you're at. Super nice. Yeah, and it's really easy to read. So when I'm running a mulcher, I come in and say I'm right about, we'll say I'm 2400. I hook the mulcher up, it's gonna drop way down. I wait for it to ramp up and get pretty close to about 2200, 2400, and then I get to work. Yeah. And see that throttle? Throttle up, throttle down. It's really easy to use. I am certainly not telling you guys what machine you should buy. I'm just telling you my personal opinion. And my personal opinion is this is my go-to currently. I really like my V1000. But this one, I don't know. This is the visibility of the tracks, the visibility of the attachment plate, the visibility of the front blade of the bucket, the lift height, the lift capacity, the speed, the feel, the comfort, just the controls, just everything put together. This is currently, as of this shooting, my favorite all-around machine. Now, I do have some other machines, before you ask, that I haven't put a lot of time on. I have an RS6-2, which I have no attachment plate for. I've never run an attachment on, so I don't know what it can do and what it's like. I have a few other smaller machines. I have 11 mini skids in my possession right now. And out of those, what I've been able to operate, this is my favorite one. So you can order these direct from Derette, and you can wait for the machine to come in and do your warranty through China, or you have options. Like the biggest dealer in America for Derette is GSA Equipment that I've partnered with, and they've sent me a whole bunch of machines. I think they've sent me 9 machines so far, And I've sent some of them back. I still have some, but I just use them to test and review. Now, the first XC1100s to arrive in America were GSAs. And they had a container of these, and I went up there and I filmed it, the unloading of the first XC1100s in America. And that was really exciting. And then when I got this, I showed you guys I got my machine, but this is the first time I've actually told you what it's like to operate, because I feel, since I have hours on it, that I have a little bit to speak on. Now I'm gonna add more and more hours as time goes on. But as of right now, at just over 20 hours, I'm about 2 months in with ownership of this. This is currently my favorite one. This is the machine I took to West Texas, out by the deserts by Mexico. This is the one I take to my property. This is the one I've run the mulcher on. So I just wanted to clear the air on that in case anyone's questioning that that's where we're at. And by the way, if you do want to get one of these from GSA Equipment, and you call them up, make sure you mention this channel, Our Life in Trees, because they will give you a $200 discount. But do me a favor, anywhere you buy this machine or one like it, or any brand, anything that you've seen on this channel, if I have helped you, let the company you're buying from know that I have helped you. And that would be amazing to me. And it would really help grow the brand and grow the channel. And the more I can grow and the more companies I can get behind me, the more real life reviews I can do for you. So thank you so much for coming out. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything unless you don't like this kind of stuff or you don't like me. And if that's the case, hey, don't subscribe. It's fine too. But hopefully I've helped you out. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about this thing. And besides that, have yourself a great day, and we'll see you on the next one. I was just moving the arms on this, just wiping it down, and something moved up front here. Look. See him? There's a little froggy friend. Yeah, he came out the backside there. Froggy friend. It's green. It's the frog machine, right? Literally the frog machine. I'm out here trying to do a video this morning. And guess who's here? Yep, my dear friends. It's weird. They've been sleeping along my fence line because it's shady. But it's not shady today. The sun's not out. But all my dear friends are out. See them all? So I'm over here trying to do a video on the XC1100. There's more deer over there. And my dear friends are here. Need to park the machines and fix my fence. Oh yeah, there they are. See? That's dead. Okay, back to the video. When you spill fuel, it's actually a really great time to wipe your machine down. Just use that diesel, clean it up. And that concludes my quick overview of the Derette XC1100 limited edition special one-up. And that concludes my tour of the Derette XC1100 one-of-one limited edition Our Life in Trees special. Have a great day.